capital management refers to the strategic approach organizations take to effectively acquire, develop, manage, and optimize their workforce. It recognizes employees as valuable assets whose knowledge, skills, and abilities contribute directly to the achievement of organizational goals. The purpose of human capital management is to align employee potential with organizational goals for maximum impact. Unlike traditional personnel management, human capital management focuses on maximizing employee potential through integrated practices such as talent acquisition and retention, performance management, learning and development, compensation and benefit, and workforce planning and analytics. In an increasing competitive and dynamic business environment, effective human capital management is essential for fostering innovation, enhancing productivity, and ensuring long-term organizational success.
Intellectual capital refers to the intangible knowledge-based assets that give an organization a competitive advantage. It includes the collective expertise, experience, and intellectual resources within a company that cannot be physically touched, but are essential for creating value. Unlike physical assets, intellectual capital is not visible, but it has a significant impact on an organization's performance and long-term success. In today's knowledge economy, intellectual capital is considered one of the most valuable resources for any organization. It represents the ideas, innovations, problem-solving abilities, and strategic thinking that employees and teams contribute to the business. This capital supports innovation, improves operational efficiency, and enhances decision-making processes across all levels of the organization. What makes intellectual capital so powerful is its ability to grow and multiply when shared. For instance, when employees collaborate and exchange knowledge, the overall intellectual capacity of the organization increases. This makes intellectual capital a dynamic asset that can be continually developed through learning, training, and knowledge sharing. Organizations that invest in intellectual capital are better positioned to adapt to changes, enter new markets, and respond to customer needs more effectively. By cultivating an environment that encourages continuous learning, idea generation, and creativity, companies can unlock the full potential of their intellectual capital. In summary, intellectual capital is a key driver of innovation, growth, and sustainability in modern organizations. It goes beyond physical resources and focuses on leveraging the mind power and expertise within the organization to build a strong and competitive future. So, let's continue with the examples of intellectual capital. As we have learned earlier, intellectual capital refers to the invisible assets that help a company grow and succeed, like knowledge, skills, systems, and relationships. Let's explore some real examples under the three main categories of intellectual capital, which is human capital, structural capital, and relational capital. First, we have human capital. This is the knowledge and expertise that employees bring to the company. For example, a software engineer's ability to code and solve complex problems is a valuable asset. Second, in marketing, team members might have creative skills to launch successful campaigns. Third, employees who think critically and solve problems quickly are helping the company move forward. Fourth, leadership skills, like how a manager motivates them, and also fall under human capital. Lastly, even the training and development that staff receive improve the company's brain power. Next is structural capital. This refers to the internal systems, tools and processes that help people do their work efficiently. Examples: company manuals and SOP which guide employees on how to do tasks correctly. Second, a business might own patents or copyrights that protect their ideas. These are very valuable. Third, some companies develop their own software that helps them work faster or serve customers better. Fourth, organizational culture, such as values of teamwork or innovation, also counts as structural capital. Lastly, even an internal knowledge database where staff can find answers quickly is part of this category. The third type is relational capital, which is about the company's relationships with the outside world. For instance, customer loyalty. When people keep buying from the same brand, so this is a strong form of intellectual capital. Second, a great brand reputation, like what we see with companies like Apple or Nike, increases customer trust. Third, good relationships with suppliers ensure smooth business operations. Fourth, even regular customer feedback helps the company improve and shows that people care. Lastly, having long-term partnerships with other businesses or networks can open new opportunities.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Huda Farhana and my metric number is 301084. Now, let's continue with the second element of human capital, which is emotional capital. Let's take a look on the definitions first. So, what is emotional capital? Emotional capital refers to the accumulated emotional intelligence, empathy, trust, and resilience that individuals and teams contribute to the workplace. It plays a crucial role in enhancing collaboration, motivation, engagement, and overall performance. One example of emotional capital is emotional intelligence. It is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and those of others. Emotional intelligence is a key factor in improving employee performance, fostering effective leadership, strengthening team collaboration, and maintaining workplace harmony. To understand this concept further, let's watch a video that explains how emotional intelligence helps employees manage stress in their workplace.
Today, I want to go through the 4 components of emotional intelligence and show you how it can impact and help you reduce stress on the job. And what's great about this is that our emotional intelligence is not fixed. It's something that grows and develops and something that we can choose to develop each and every day. First component of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Basically, it is the knowledge of what is happening within us. You know that question we always get, how are you feeling? Well, it's the ability to answer that. And when it comes to stress, it's the ability to notice the signs of stress in our body. So often, we are oblivious to the levels of stress that we are living with. But with self-awareness, we're able to read the signs of stress. We're able to see how it shows up in our body, the tensions. Now, it's not that all stress is bad, and it's not that we're seeking a world where there will be no stress, because stress also can help us be more productive. It can add a little bit of urgency and focus. However, it's the inability to have moments of de-stress, the ability to have moments where we're able to relax, the ability where that stress is not constant day in, day out, that truly impacts how we feel about our work and impacts our physical health that we mentioned at the beginning of this video. So self-awareness helps us, first of all, be able to read the signs in our body. Self-awareness also helps us to notice the moments that trigger us, that trigger even deeper fear or stress or anger, that adds to these emotional feelings that we have. The greater the knowledge we have of those particular emotional triggers, the greater our ability to deal with them as they happen. So people with high self-awareness are able to notice what is happening in their bodies, to notice the stress when it's getting out of control, and to notice what's happening and what's adding to that stress through their emotional triggers. The second component of emotional intelligence is self-management. Now, how does that help us deal with stress? Well, self-management takes some of that self-awareness and then it adds to that self-awareness a toolkit. It helps us regulate some of those emotions. People with high self-management have a toolkit that they can choose. One of the images I like to use is on the golf course. Wherever your ball is lying, depending on the particular golf course, on the wind of that day, on the nuances of the greens, etc., you will choose a different tool, and that tool is called a golf club. And so it is with our emotional life. Depending on how we've been triggered, depending on the context of where we are, we might choose one tool over another to help us regulate that emotion. What are some of these tools? Well, one of them can be a simple act of stopping and breathing, helping us to slow down in the moment, helping us to recognize that we've been triggered, and helping us choose the best option. Second tool could be visualization. Perhaps we've been triggered, perhaps it's a pattern that we've noticed, perhaps it's a way that we've always acted with a certain behavior that we're trying to stop. Visualization can help us replace that pattern with a new way of behaving, so that when we are triggered, we now turn to a new behavior rather than repeating the behavior we've had time and time again. The third way is a simple exercise I like to call the 7-second reset. It's taking 7 seconds and trying to reset some of the stress and anxiety that's just happened because of a triggering moment. What is it? It's taking 1 second, and in that first second to ground our feet. And in the grounding of our feet, we begin to feel the physicality of our feet in our shoes. That simple act of physicality can take us away from some of the emotionality that we're feeling. Seconds 2, 3, and 4 is breathing in. And as we breathe in, we do a quick body scan, which helps us assess some of the tension and stress that we're carrying because of this moment. And then seconds 5, 6, and 7 is breathing out. And as we breathe out, to change our posture, to change how we're feeling, and perhaps to think about a different way of responding. These are the tools that help us manage some of the triggering moments and can help us deal with stress in the moment. The third component of emotional intelligence is social awareness, this awareness of others. And one of the things that we've learned about emotional intelligence is that there's such a thing as emotional contagion, that we spread our emotional lives all around us to people. We literally catch the emotions of other people. And so when an organization is under a lot of anxiety and stress, that stress can spread like wildfire. Part of it then can be a deliberate attempt to counteract some of that stress by planting a more positive attitude, perhaps some happiness, some laughter, because what we also know is that the more positive the emotion, the quicker it tends to spread among the organization. So in other words, what we're trying to do is take some of this negative energy of stress and anxiety and change that and spread some more positivity around us. And finally, there's the fourth component, which is relationship management. Now, relationship management is really about managing those important relationships. And very often when it comes to areas of stress and strain in the work, we're talking about conflict. We're talking about speaking up. And so good relationship management can help us deal with conflict rather in a personal, destructive way, using conflict as an opportunity to debate ideas and to be dealt with constructively. It can
Social capital. Social capital is a set of shared values that allow individuals to work together in a group to effectively achieve a common purpose. The idea is generally used to describe how members are able to band together in society to live harmoniously. In business, social capital can contribute to a company's success by building a sense of shared values and mutual respect to achieve company's goals. There are 3 types of social capital, especially if you are in the workplace. First up, bonding social capital. This is the kind of connection you have with people who are just like you, your close friends, teammates you trust, or even family. In the workplace, it looks like a peer support group that help each other manage stress, or a team that work together for years and just get each other. It's more to loyalty, trust, and emotional support. Next up, linking social capital. This one all about vertical connection. You're linked to people in power or authority, like when an intern gets to learn from the company's director, or when someone has government contact that help their organization get better support. It's how opportunities travel down from the top by mentorship, influence, and access. And finally, bridging social capital. This is the magic that happens when different groups come together, people from different backgrounds, cultures, or departments, sharing ideas and learning from one another. Imagine a project team with a member from IT, HR, and finance all working to a common goal, or people from different cultures teaming up on a community project. That's where innovation thrives. So there you have it. Bonding, linking, and bridging social capital. Each one is powerful in its own way. Building strong friendship, connect with mentor, collaborate across boundaries, because when relationship grows, so does your potential. social capital isn't just a concept, it's your secret workplace superpower. But here is the question, how do we actually build it? Start with the constant tone, trust. Without it, social capital doesn't stand a chance. For the action, first, be honest and consistent in decision making. Second, communicate openly, especially during time of change. Third, admit mistakes and share credit with others. So what is the result? A workplace where people aren't afraid to speak up, share ideas, or take initiative, because trust reduces fear and allow collaboration. Next, step outside your bubble. External network matter too. For the action, encourage employees to attend industry conference, networking event, and community outreach program. Second, build partnership with universities, non-profit or government agencies. Third, invite guest speaker or expert from outside the organization. So when you build outward connection, you don't just grow knowledge, you bring credibility, resources, and opportunities that go beyond the four walls of the office. Now let's talk about something many leaders overlook, which is relational skills. For the action, celebrate not just individual achievement, but also teamwork, collaboration, and peer support. Second, include relationship building as a competency in performance appraisal. Third, offer training in emotional intelligence, communication, and conflict resolution. So the result, this sends a clear message that interpersonal relationships are valued assets, not just optional extras. Finally, create access to leadership. For the action, establish formal mentoring program connecting junior staff with senior leaders. Second, create open door policies or regular town hall with executive. Third, encourage reverse mentoring where younger employees share knowledge with senior leaders. So the result, build linking social capital which connect individuals with those in power and open up growth and development pathways.
Hi, my name is Nur Amira Sulaika binti Abdullah and my metric number is 301430. I like to highlight how intellectual capital, emotional capital, and social capital all work together to support a company's long-term success. Let's start with intellectual capital. This refers to the knowledge, experience, skills, and ideas that exist within the company, especially within its employees. It's something you can see or touch, but it's extremely valuable. When employees share knowledge and continue learning through training or collaboration, the overall brain power of the company grows. This leads to smarter decision-making, better problem-solving, and more innovation. In fact, companies with strong intellectual capital are often better at adapting to change and entering new markets because they have a strong base of ideas and expertise to work from. Next is emotional capital, which is all about the emotional strength the employees and teams bring to the workplace. It includes qualities like empathy, trust, emotional intelligence, and resilience. When people can understand and manage their own emotions and also understand others, it leads to better communication, stronger teamwork, and higher motivation. Emotional capital also helps build a positive working environment, which improves leadership, productivity, and job satisfaction. In simple terms, when people feel good at work, they do better work. Lastly, we have social capital. This is the value created through relationships and social network within and around the organization. Social capital exists in three forms. First, we have strong bonds between people who are close, like co-workers who have worked together for years and support each other through challenges. Second, bridging connection. This happens when people from different departments or backgrounds come together and collaborate. And third, taking connections. These are relationships with people in authority, like managers or external stakeholders, like that can provide support and open up new opportunities. When a company has strong social capital, people are more likely to cooperate, share knowledge, and work toward common goals. So, in conclusion, intellectual, emotional, and social capital may be intangible, but they are incredibly powerful. When a company invests in these areas, it builds a culture of learning, trust, and connections, which lead to better performance, stronger teams, and long-term success.